Known for his Bollywood acting performances,
Madness, the chaos, the craziness, the relatability, and the reality of the digital world is what Chutzpah offers.
he starred in the latest show Chutzpah.
I think the most beautiful part of it is when you're shooting with friends is that you need to think before asking anything.
NewsX India A-list proudly recognizes Varun Sharma for excellence in entertainment.
Hello, welcome. I'm Uday Pratap Singh. You're joining us on this brand new interview as part of our NewsX A-list series. We're in conversation today with well-known actor Varun Sharma, who's all set to bring some chutzpah onto your digital portals. Yes, that's the name of his new show on Sony Live. Welcome, Varun. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you so much, Uday. Thank you for having me. Thank you. Always a pleasure.
Well, great to see you. And of course, this time talking about a very different show. And of course, a new medium as well for you, the digital medium. So tell us about what attracted you to Chutzpah.
So it is a very interesting concept. It's a very actually sorry to correct you, but the pronunciation of the same show is Chutzpah, C silent.
Acha, Chutzpah. Okay.
C is silent, so it's Chutzpah. It's a very interesting format. It's a very interesting show. It is talks about the digital world. I mean, one thing which is now embedded in our blood, in our system, is the internet. And I think it's literally impossible to live without the internet if you give it a thought about it. So it talks about that. It talks about 4 or 5 different stories, which are kind of weeded in together. And the madness, the chaos, the craziness, the relatability, and the reality of the digital world is what Chutzpah offers. And I'm a part of it. And my story of it is of Vikas, that's my character's name, which is in love with this girl called Shikha, which is played by Tanya, and how their physical relationship, because of certain situations, turns out to be into a long distance relationship, and how things change. The feelings, the emotion, the rush is the same of emotions, but how, because of not being physically present there, but online and virtually, how things change for them and what all happens is what mine and Tanya's story has to offer in the show.
Okay. And was it for you very, comfort zone? Because, you've got people who you worked with before and people very successfully you worked with before. Mrigdeep is, of course, the creator. You've got Dinesh Vijan backing the project. You've also got Manjot as your co-star. So was it a comfort zone for you? Lag raha tha
It was. I mean, with the grace of God, it felt like homecoming. I mean, it absolutely felt like homecoming because it's the same people. Immediately after Ruhi, I think this is coming out, and Ruhi were with the same people. Dinesh Vijan had produced that along with Mixer, and just Dinesh Vijan has produced it, and it's created by Mrigdeep Singh Lamba. So it kind of felt as a homecoming, and I think, Uday, to be very honest, once you working with friends and the people that you are so closely associated with, a lot of things become easier.
Yeah.
Because you don't have the thing. The most beautiful part of it is when you're shooting with friends is that you need to think before asking anything. It's not, you never get a thought that, am I going to look stupid if I ask this? Is this going to be a dumb question?
Yeah.
Because as a human nature, we all tend to think, यार पूछूंगा यार ये गलत तो नहीं लगेगा उसे यार ये मैं पूछ ही तो भी मैं रहने देता हूँ. But when you're with your friends, it's amongst your friends. You just speak your heart out, whatever you feel like saying. You just kind of blabber it out and kind of say it. So that happens. So I mean, that was a blessing for me, to be working with them and to be shooting with them, and of course Manjot there. So actually, the interesting fact is Manjot and me have not shot together. Okay. I was working on my different story. He was working on a different story. The only time I think we've met is during the promotions of the show, where we kind of shared the same screen. I was like, "Arey," and all that. But we used to keep chatting on the phone and asking how is it going and stuff like that.
Yeah. Okay, that's interesting. But just speaking, of course, now about the relatability aspect. क्या आपको लग रहा है कि this project is so relatable? Of course, the digital medium is booming, but everyone is experiencing what you're showcasing in Chutzpah in real life. Be it virtual dates, be it, of course, using the virtual medium like today we are for this interview, to, of course, virtual conversations as well with family and friends who are far away. So relatability factors is big, you believe?
120%. It is very relatable. Yeah? I mean, this has become a part of our lives. 2 years back, no one thought that in fact, for us, like for you and me today, I mean, we never thought we're going to be doing Zoom in like virtual interviews. where you're going to be sitting at your house, I'm going to be sitting in my house, and we're going to be doing this interview. If we would have thought 2 years back, it would have been like, no, this is not going to happen. You like, let's just get together.
Yeah.
Because the physical presence of two individuals, the energy of two individuals being physically present, a lot more things kind of come out and all that. But see where we are and how it's kind of changed. So that's the same way. I mean, there is a lot of reality in the show, which is very relatable.
Okay.
Because like, even if you see, with the grace of God, the kind of graph that I've had, or the kind of films I've been associated with, whether it's Fukre Returns, whether it's Dilwale, it's Chichore, it's Ruhi, I have always tried to do stuff which is very relatable. कि यार ये तो मैं भी करता हूँ, या फिर ये मेरा दोस्त करता है, हमारे ग्रुप का चूचा ये है, हमारे ग्रुप का सेक्सा ये है, कि भाई उसको उससे प्यार हो गया. मतलब it's basic that relatability stuff is what I always crave to do, and I kind of want to be a part of it.
And that's what people have loved. That's what people have loved. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's what is there. And it's the same thing with Chutzpah, mere bhai. It's the same thing with Chutzpah, because this is, I'm sure, once people witness it, once the show comes out on 23rd of July and people watch it, they're going to talk about it. It's going to be an eye-opener for so many relationships which are long distance right now, that why are we talking like this? It's not because that I don't love you. It's because that I'm not physically there with you for the longest time. That's why the conversations are getting lessened. That's why the interaction is getting lessened. That's why the whole, the camaraderie is getting affected. It is not because the love is fading. It's not because of that. It's because physical presence is not there for a span of time. So if people kind of realize that, if kind of adapt that, maybe it'll save on to certain relationships. There are so many relationships around me, my friends, that have got called off because of the pandemic, because of two people not being together. जहाँ पे साल में वो 200 दिन साथ में मिलते थे, वो 20 दिन भी नहीं मिल रहे. तो उसकी वजह से रिलेशन खराब होती है, and the other person starts doubting कि प्यार कम हो गया. वो प्यार भी कम हुआ है, वो situation change हुई है.
Let me then ask you three questions pertaining now to the real Varun Sharma. This is your real character you told us about. Now you also told us what your friends are going through. Real Varun Sharma, can he do long distance? Can he do these virtual dates, virtual conversations for long, or not really?
मैं भाई हार्डकोर पंजाबी बनता हूँ. मुझे सामने बैठ के उनसे बातें करनी है, गप्पे मारनी है, chill करना है. And it's not only about relationship with my partner. I think even with friends. Yeah. I mean, I am that person who loves sitting physically, being comfortable, अपनी बातें कर रहे हैं, chill कर रहे हैं, खाने खा रहे हैं, चाय पी रहे हैं. That physical touch for me, and that physical presence of a person around me is very, very important. Okay. So I think I've not done it in a very long time, but I think it's going to be tough.
Okay. Real Varun Sharma, staying in touch. Are you good at staying in touch virtually with friends, with family, especially during this situation?
I am. I still am friends with the people that I've started from nursery. से जिनके साथ मैं पढ़ा हूँ, मेरे अभी भी वो दोस्त हैं. I make it a point to meet them every 6 months or once or twice in a year. I go to my hometown, which is Jalandhar. I've not been in the longest time because of the pandemic that was going on. But उससे पहले, every year, 2 times I have to go to my hometown and be friends. So I'm very good at staying in touch.
Okay. And finally, how does the real Varun Sharma react to trolls? Trolling is something which has become a part and parcel. Now, आपके ट्रेलर में भी है ट्रोलिंग के बारे में.
यार,
I भी महसूस करता है. How do you react to it?
I personally, I mean, कुछ अगर मेरे को लगता है कि यार ये बंदे का पर्सपेक्टिव ठीक है और इसने मेरे को कुछ बोला, need to rectify something in my life or in my work or in my craft or in my personal life, I take it. Healthy suggestions I take and all that. I read it, but I at times, of course, it'll be wrong to say that I don't get affected. I get affected by it. But the most important thing that I do, and I tell all my friends and the viewers who are watching this, is that if you're being trolled, and trolling doesn't mean has to come out of 100 people. Yeah. Trolling or reading something which thousands of people are saying together will only affect you. That's wrong. If one person is also saying something, it can affect and have the same impact of what thousands or lakhs of people are saying at the same time. It is very important to talk to your loved ones, talk to your friends, talk to the people that you confide in. That, listen, I've read something like that and it's bothering me. Do you think this is something is going wrong in that particular aspect? and you get a real suggestion out of it. If it needs to be worked on, please work on it.
Okay.
But if it's you absolutely doing it correct and someone just said something, don't let it affect you and roll out your mental health for somebody else's sake. So people you confide in, it's very important to talk to them and share your heart out.
Okay, well, thanks for joining us today. And as I said, real is really meeting real in your new show, Utspa. So let's hope that people love watching it, enjoy it, and of course, also relate to it a lot. Thanks so much.
Absolutely, Milind bhai. Thank you. Please watch the show 23rd July, Sony Live. You also, please, Uday, once you see the show, let us know how you like it.
100%. Looking forward. Bye.
Thank you, Milind.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.